Hey, what's up YouTubers? What's up guys? Welcome back to another Todd E. Walnuts update video. This is going to be another variety type video because I did pick up 34 titles recently from the Dollar Tree stores. Over the last couple weeks I've been kind of hitting those. It's almost become like an addiction for me to track down these different titles and go to these different Dollar Tree stores in my area. So I do have these in order, somewhat in order. This first stack here on the left, those are the horror titles. Then I have somewhat of action type movies, some adventure type movies, a couple titles here that are animated. Got a couple of Western titles and 4 Christmas titles. And then I did pick up another Gotti movie. I got to show you guys that. It's really weird what I picked up at the Dollar Tree. And this stack right here in the back, those are thrift shop purchases. Actually, both of these piles here are. And then I have a little tiny pile of newer releases that I picked up from a couple of them I got at Ronin Flicks and one I got from Amazon. So let's get into the movies here. So here we are. Joining me on the bed again tonight is the lovely Miss Hannah and the lovely Miss Heidi. And before I get into any of the titles, I just want to thank you guys. I'm a couple subscribers away from 4,500, which is surprising to me for my channel. I never thought I would get that many. So I want to thank each of you, for those of you who were with me from the very beginning, to all of you who have recently subbed and anybody in between. I just want to say thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you guys who click my videos and who leave thumbs up and who leave comments. It means a lot to me. So I wanted to say that before we get into the movies. The first stack that we're going to go through, these are kind of action type movies. I'm going to save the horror ones for the last of the DVD haul, just to kind of save the best for last, at least in my opinion. Don't know a lot about these. I just know that a lot of these are very, very low budget. I have really become addicted, like I said earlier. I've become addicted to tracking these down and finding out what they have. It still blows my mind that they're selling these for $1, because there's a lot more materials in these DVDs than $1 to me. So I'm going to pull from the action pile first. And like I said, these are in no particular order. Don't know much about any of these, but I do plan on checking these out at some point, and I'm very happy to add these to the collection. The first one here is called Jurassic Thunder, Ultimate Hunter, Ultimate Weapon, and you can definitely tell it's kind of a ripoff of Jurassic Park and Godzilla in kind of a weird way. I think the cover looks really cool. You can tell that it is a CGI fest, but what do you expect for $1? History's Most Dangerous Predator just got an upgrade. It doesn't look like there's much in the way of special features or bonus materials. And this was put out by High Octane. I've noticed that a lot of the Dollar Trees are carrying the High Octane movies. And I'm trying to see, looks like this came out in 2019. It says it is unrated. There's not much of a synopsis there either. Commandos and weaponized dinosaurs. That is Jurassic Thunder. The next one, even though it says Walmart Select, was purchased at a Dollar Tree. And this one is called Only. Comes with a slipcover. But they put a plastic, or I'm sorry, not plastic, they put a sticker over the UPC window on the back of the slip, so I can't really take that slip off. But that young man right there looks like he's the actor that played Carl in The Walking Dead. I could be wrong about that. It is him. It's Chandler Riggs, and he is the young actor who played Carl. Carl Grimes on The Walking Dead, and he has grown up quite a bit, as you can see. The slipcover is put up by a company called Vertical, who I am not familiar with. This one also came out in 2019. And the slipcover looks pretty cool. It has kind of a gloss to it. I don't know if that's going to pick up on my... I guess you can see a little bit the flash reflecting from that gloss. Looks pretty cool. And it looks like this was kind of a post-apocalyptic type movie. And this was at the 2019 Tribeca Film Festival. It says Ava might be the only woman left on Earth after a mysterious plague threatens to kill all females on the planet. The lives and relationships of Ava and Will are put to the ultimate test as they try to survive the disease and dangerous people hunting her down. So it's not quite a horror film, but it does sound like it has some drama, suspense. And it does look like a kind of a post-apoc type movie. You can see the city burning in the background. Cars are flipped over. They're wearing gas masks and some type of ponchos, I guess. I thought I'd give that a shot. Why not for $1? Here's another one. This slipcover pulled me in. I wasn't going to pick this up. I actually had this in my hand, and I put it back down, and at the very end I was like, you know what, I might as well grab this for $1. Comes with the slipcover. It's called The Comet Kids, and I was thinking this is another kind of a post-apocalyptic type movie because it looks like they have the gas masks and protective clothing uniforms on. The cover looks really cool. It reminds me, or because I haven't seen the movie yet, but it looks like something that would come out in the 80s. This is put out by a company, well, it's Echo Bridge released it, but here on the top it says a dark epic film. Not going to read the whole synopsis. I'll get close if you guys want to pause it and check that out in case maybe you are considering picking this one up. But it looks pretty cool. This movie came out in 2018. And I think the cover is the same. Yes, they're both the same. So we'll just keep moving on. This one's called End of Fall. It looks like it would be a horror film. Looks like somebody's carrying kind of a body wrapped in sheets slung over their shoulder as they're carrying an axe in their other hand. It's another Echo Bridge movie. And it looks like this one also came out in 2018. The thing that caught my eye here is this film is supposed to take place in Wisconsin. That's the state I live in. It says Wisconsin farmer Jackson Nelson is a man shadowed by loss. After the death of his wife, he and his teenage daughter, Emily, struggle to keep their farm afloat. His longtime rival banker Josh Carter wants to foreclose on their family farm without thought of their livelihood, even though Carter's son Josh is best friends with Emily. When a tragic accident occurs, Jackson sees an opportunity to turn the tables and slowly enacts an elaborate play of revenge on Josh Carter. A little bit of a revenge suspense film. That guy looks familiar. What is that movie he was in? And I think they just recently did a sequel where I think that's the guy where he plays a blind guy. And people, at least in part one, I did see part one, I just can't, the name escapes me at the moment. But a couple of people break into his house to try to take advantage of him because he's blind. But he goes on a rampage, a murderous rampage. If any of you guys know the name of that, I could easily find it online, but if you want to comment down below and let me know if that's the guy and what movie I'm thinking of. But let's continue to move on. The next one, this is a Shout Factory movie for $1 at the Dollar Tree. Yes, it did not come with the slip. I don't know if this one ever did come with the slip. I never heard of this movie before. It is called Valentine, the Dark Avenger, and it looks really cool. You can see there the Shout logo on the bottom of the spine. Now we're finding Shout Blu-rays at the Dollar Tree. Doesn't have much in the way of special features. To save her city, she will have to accept her destiny. Female, kind of a superhero movie. I figured, why not? For $1, can't go wrong. If I watch it and I don't like it, I can turn it into a thrift shop. And the last one for the, I guess, action pile, another Walmart Select release. Are these the stickers that they use for Black Friday? I do remember buying stuff at Walmart on Black Friday, and they had a similar sticker to that. And I wonder if these were titles that just didn't sell during last Black Friday, and now they're getting kind of sort of donated to the Dollar Tree to try to recover some of the money. I don't know. This one's called the Bay of Silence. It also has a slipcover, but it's stuck to the back by a sticker. It also does have a glossy slipcover. And this movie came out in 2019. It says it's put out by Vertical. I don't know if that's a subsidiary of wait, what was the other Vertical movie? Echo Bridge? I don't know. But it looks pretty cool. It looks like some of the footage takes place in an old graveyard, which I really love those type of scenes. I find graveyards very peaceful and relaxing, and I like seeing some of the historic stones from over the years. Some secrets echo forever. Will sets out to discover the truth behind his son's mysterious death in a bid to protect his mentally vulnerable wife, only to discover an unsolved crime that threatens both their lives. So that is it for the, I guess, action pile. Let's get into the adventure pile, and we will continue. So again, these are in no particular order. Just going to pull from a pile here. First one is called Viking Siege. And it looks like it's a low buck, kind of an epic adventure style movie. Love the cover. The cover is fantastic. You can see that castle kind of looming in the background as the dragon flies over the city in the background, and you can see the Viking ship and some of the Viking warriors in the foreground there. Movie came out in 2018. This is another high octane release, and there is the website if you guys are interested in checking them out to see if they have anything good on their website. I have yet to go and check them out myself, but I will do that at some point. That is highoctanepictures.com. Evil Dead mixed with swords and sorcery. You know what? I think I may have shown this in a previous video, and I may have doubles of this now, but that's okay, because when I read that tagline, Evil Dead mixed with swords and sorcery, that sounds familiar to me. So I do believe this may be a double for me. The next one here is called Baltic Tribes. Also, you know what? I should point this out. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but on the spine of these high octane movies, they list what genre it is, and you can see at the top by that little photo at the top of the disc, it says adventure for that one. So, and if you look at well, I guess I'll get to the horror in a little bit, but this one says action again, and it's like another barbarian type movie. Viking warriors, barbarians. Looks really cool. This one came out in 2018, and it looks like it takes place in the 13th century. Danish spy Lars enters the tribal lands of the Baltic people, where he takes part in religious rites, cruel forays, gets high during the summer solstice, and becomes the slave of Curionians, and even fights the Crusaders. Looks like it could be a pretty fun watch. I do like the medieval type movies, and I like the medieval battles, so I'm sure that's going to be pretty fun. That is Baltic Tribes. Next one is called City of Gold, or The City of Gold. Blood is the price to find it. A thrilling adventure worth its weight in gold. Hidden Hollywood news. This movie came out in 2018, another high-octane movie. The City of Gold is an action-packed adventure about the search for the mythical city. Haunted by the death of his father, Jonathan joins his ex-girlfriend on a mission to the jungles of Peru, believing the trip will help him get over his grief. Jonathan soon discovers the Amazon jungle is full of life-threatening dangers, including ferocious animals, deadly insects, ruthless mercenaries, and dark secrets that will go to any lengths to stop them from finding the lost City of Gold. The guy looks familiar right there. I've seen him in movies before. The next one is called The Rebels. Not all heroes are noble. Looks like another Viking type battle movie, but on the spine here it says horror. I don't know if they accidentally mislabeled that or if this has horror elements in it. I have not seen it yet. This movie also came out in 2018. There. Indie Films. After killing a soldier in Roman-occupied Britain and causing an uprising, 4 rebellious teenagers must go on the run if they want to survive. They must learn to live, work, and fight together in the wild if they want to live or face the wrath of Rome and certain death. The Rebels is an action-adventure about survival in the harshest of times. Looks like there's a little bit of gore. Bloody battles, very gritty. Looking forward to checking that out. And then the last one here for the adventure pile is called Tower of Silence. Again, some of these may be doubles. I don't remember if I picked some of these up before. I don't think I did, but if I did, it's not that big of a deal. But this looks kind of like a Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit kind of, I guess, ripoff. And they even use tower in the title, the 2 towers or whatever. But enter a land of magic and secrets. It was put out in 2019. After a powerful sorceress Kay is captured by a mysterious enemy, it is up to her young followers to find a way to rescue her before it's too late. I think I did get this one before. That sounds very familiar. But I can always gift these or give them to a Goodwill or something if I do have doubles. It's only $1. So let us move on to the little pile here. I have 3 titles of animation. This first title is only one of 2 Blu-rays that I got from the Dollar Tree stores over the last couple weeks. And I wasn't really going to grab this one, but it's a Blu-ray 3D, a regular Blu-ray, and a DVD. So you get 3 formats of the film for $1. It's called Tad, the Lost Explorer. And it has Cheech Marin as a voice. I thought that was pretty cool. So you get a 3-disc set here for $1. It's The Adventure of a Lifetime. It looks pretty cool. It looks, you know, a little corny and maybe geared more towards children, but I do like to collect animated movies. I do have a decent sized collection of animation. And this is a Studio Canal movie. Studio Canal presents. Sorry about that, it went out of focus for a minute. It says Tad is a bored construction worker dreaming of a life of adventure until one day he is mistaken for a famous archaeologist and that dream comes true. You guys don't really want to hear more about that, but you know, like I said, a 3-disc set for $1. I wanted to grab that, add it to the collection. And then I did pick up 2 more of these. I think these are really cool. I picked these up to gift them to people. I don't know if these are going to be hard to find. I picked this up probably about a month ago. I showed it in a Dollar Tree haul video. And at that time, I only saw this one time in several stores that I went to over a couple weeks. And I was seeing it more often lately, so I don't think this is going to be hard to find or anything like that. So I did not try to hoard these to sell them. I plan on giving these to friends, people who grew up, people my age or roughly my age, who grew up with the Masters of the Universe cartoons, who may want something like this for their collection to kind of bring back some of that nostalgia. And these are documentaries called Power of Grayskull, the definitive history of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And it covers everything from the cartoons from the 80s to the motion pictures to the figures and everything in between. So I thought that was pretty cool, so I grabbed 2 more of those just to kind of help people out. So let's get into the 2 little westerns I got. This first one here, it didn't really sound like it was my style of movie. It's called Out of the Wild, and it's about a cowboy, a retired cowboy, I think it says on the back, who, I think he buys a horse. Let's see. He tries to break in a Mustang, and that's the whole premise of the movie. This old cowboy and this troubled Mustang, and how they become friendly with each other, how the cowboy tames the Mustang, I guess. So if you want to read that. Struggling cowboy with a painful past that he can't drink away, living on his last dollar and with nowhere to go, he reluctantly takes a last resort ranch job and is tasked with breaking in a troubled Mustang. So there you have it. I will give it a spin and check it out. I'm not expecting much out of the movie, but again, for $1, it's not a gamble. If it's bad and I lose, it's not, it's only $1. I was really surprised to see this at a Dollar Tree. This is a John Wayne 20 movie pack. It has 20 movies. I have a couple of John Wayne movie packs. I have one that's like some of his very earliest stuff that never really had a proper release and never really got cleaned up. But there's some pretty good movies here on this one. This is an Echo Bridge box set that was released in 2018. It's 1,313 minutes, and it's black and white and color movies. So you get, I'm not going to go through all of them, but some of them that stand out to me are Angel and the Bad Man, Helltown. Let's see, what else do we have here? The Dawn Rider. Texas Terror was good. The Man from Utah, The Trail Beyond. So you get, let me see if it says how many discs there are. I don't see it. But these are movies mainly from it looks like there's quite a few from the 1930s. And I probably have a lot of those in another box set tin that I have. Angel and the Bad Man is from 47. So these are from the 30s and 40s. And they're rather short movies. It looks like a lot of them are under 1 hour, 51 minutes, 54 minutes, 55 minutes. So, and they do come in 2 different cases here. One of the cases is called The Great American Western that has 11 movies. And the other one is McClintock, and it has 8 bonus movies. That's pretty cool. For $1, you cannot pass that up. So let's move on to I've been noticing a lot of the thrift stores that I've been going to lately have what they call Christmas in August. And I did pick up 4 titles. These are from the Dollar Tree. And I do like to collect Christmas movies. And I thought this one was pretty cool. I had never heard of it before. It says in that little silver oval, now available for the first time ever, new on DVD. This is called Santa's Magic Toy Bag. And it says it was from the creator of the iconic TV character Elf. And it looks like it's a lot of puppetry. So that should be pretty cool. It's a program from 1983. It's only 40 minutes running time. And it is full frame. But still, it's pretty cool to see this at a Dollar Tree. And I don't know how rare this is, but it may have a Blu-ray release by now. I have no idea. Here's one. It's a 2-disc holiday collection called The Secret World of Santa, Elves in Toyland. And this is, I guess you can probably use this for those of you who review Christmas movies during the Christmas season. It is Countdown to Christmas days 1 through 13, because there are 13 programs in this box set, or this set here. You get 13 episodes for your Countdown to Christmas. And it looks like this was put out in 1997, and then it was probably on VHS. Then it was released in 2013 as a DVD release. The Secret World of Santa, Elves in Toyland. This one looks pretty cool. It's The Night Before Christmas, narrated by Kevin Kline, based on the best-selling book by Mary Engelbreit. It looks like it has kind of CGI, very low-budget CGI animation in this movie. It says it's approximately 26 minutes, which is perfect for a holiday special to me. You don't need to have an hour and 20-minute Christmas special. Half hour is fine, or less. Everybody knows the story. 'Twas the night before Christmas, so it's kind of cool to see that. And then I found Beethoven's Christmas Adventure. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't have any of the Beethoven movies on any format except now for the Beethoven's Christmas Adventure. So I thought that was pretty cool. And this one is a feature-length movie, I believe. I don't see a running time, but I think this is probably anywhere between an hour and 20, hour and a half. It was released in 2011. And we got a little pile here. Well, actually, I bought this one. This is Gotti. I did show this one in a separate video. I think this was in my last Dollar Tree haul video. And it's just the Blu-ray of John Travolta as Gotti. Now, this was strange to me. I saw this today in a Dollar Tree. And it is first of all, it's a Walmart Select with a slipcover. But it is the Canadian release of it because it has Gotti and then it has French on the slipcover, which I'm not the biggest fan of the way that the Canadians release some of their movies, and I think even some of my Canadian friends would agree with that. You don't really need the French title also. See, you got it down here. But I thought that was pretty cool, and there is a difference in the discs because this one's a Blu-ray DVD combo and this one's just Blu-ray. So I'm going to keep the Canadian release just because it has a slipcover. It's pretty cool. It has a little bit of kind of shelf wear, I guess, but to me that's fine just for this movie. I'm going to probably give this one to my son here, but I'm going to pause it here and we're going to get into the horror pile. That's what you guys came for. And then once we're done with that, I'm going to just shoot over here to some of my thrift shop purchases and let's check in on the girls. Yeah, they're out. Hope you guys are still with me. Okay, so the first horror title is called The Project. There's No Escape. Another movie put out by Echo Bridge. It looks like this one was released in 2020. This one's here is having a dream. Heidi. 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 She was having a dream or something. It sounded like she was crying. After supposedly witnessing a drug deal, Melody Dawson is kidnapped by a ruthless, rage-filled man named Jason and his brother Devin. Melody is locked in a basement where she can hear the conversations between Jason, Devin, and a woman named Ashley through a vent. She tries to use the information she gains to play them, but they find out her father is wealthy and consider asking for a ransom. Just when she needs her wits the most, Melody starts seeing a double of herself who starts giving her instructions on how to escape. So that, it doesn't sound that great, but I wanted to give it a shot. It's called The Project. Next one is called Amityville, Mount Misery Road. Comes with a slipcover. Another glossy slip. Very cool looking. That image of the ghost on the front almost looks like it's 3D. Just kind of hovering above that swamp with that haunted house in the background. 75 minutes running time. This one was put out in 2017. Charlie and Buzzy are ghost enthusiasts, fascinated by the legend of the sexiest road in America, Mount Misery Road. The couple continues their adventure into the nearby woods, only to discover they have trapped themselves in a whirlpool of paranormal activity. It looks very, very low budget. And no, I'm not surprised. There you have it, Amityville, Mount Misery Road. The next one is called Driven. Somebody gave it an 8 out of 10. Film threat. Unfamiliar with that person or group. This is a movie from, what does it say? Uncorked. Was released in 2018. It does have audio commentary, deleted scenes, interviews, outtakes, and more. So that's pretty cool for a $1 movie. It says a comedy horror roller coaster, a genius meld of humor and horror. So there you have it. It's a horror comedy. I think horror comedies are okay when they're done right. I don't like to watch too many of them, and I have to be in the right mood to watch a horror comedy. But if it's done right, they are very fun watches. Emerson Graham's nights as a cab driver are filled with annoyances and inconveniences, but until tonight, never attacks and disappearances. After picking up a mysterious passenger, her evening goes from working a job to performing a quest, as they must race against the clock to stop demons from invading the world. That does not sound too bad, actually. I will look forward to checking that one out. Driven. Next one comes with a slipcover. It's called Behind You, from the producers of The Gallows. Another glossy slip. Movie from 2019. It says here at the top, belongs in the Conjuring universe, from Joeblow.com. I don't know, never heard of them. Doesn't mean they're not good, it's just never heard of them before. It says a demonic entity summons young Claire to release it from the hidden mirrors in her estranged aunt's home. Olivia must now defeat the malicious entity that has possessed her sister and escape the clutches of their deranged aunt before it's too late. So it's another possession type movie. Next one is called The Witch in the Window. A New Start, an Old Spirit. That looks pretty cool. I like that kind of old-timey look to it. A movie from 2018, another one from Uncorked Entertainment. 77 minutes running time. Has a director's commentary, so that's pretty cool. It at least puts something on there. When Simon brings his 12-year-old son, Finn, to rural Vermont to help flip an old farmhouse, they encounter the malicious spirit of Lydia, a previous owner. And now, with every repair they make, she's getting stronger. Ooh. The Witch in the Window. This one looked pretty cool, and you could definitely tell it's a... I don't know if they're trying to be funny with this, or if they're just kind of riding the coattails of The Hills Have Eyes, but this one is called The Trees Have Eyes, or maybe it's just a complete coincidence that the titles are so similar. These woods will leave you hollow. And it's a really, really nice cover, though. I gotta give this one a slow once over. Check that out. That's worth $1 right there. Check that out. Movie from 2019. from itndistribution.com. A group of bounty hunters head into a vast New England forest to track down a dangerous felon. But as they get further into the woods, they begin to realize there is something far deadlier than a murderer on the run. The group suddenly finds themselves surrounded by a seemingly endless horde of the undead. And with no shelter, no help, and no end to the carnage, survival seems hopeless. I guess we're going to have to tune in to see if they make it out of the forest. We will see. The next one is called Covenant. They hide in plain sight. Evil will show no mercy. Look at the black eyes on that guy. Movie from 2016, another high-octane release. It says here, after receiving word of his estranged mother's untimely passing, a reluctant former Army lieutenant must travel to a secluded town in a Pacific Northwest to unlock the mystery surrounding her suspicious death. Sounds okay. We'll check that out. That is Covenant. This one is House of the Witch. The house belongs to her. Death Lives Here. This is from a company called Mar Vista, put out in 2017. Death Lives Here. It's a Halloween night in a small town, USA, and a group of high school kids dare to have a party in the old abandoned house at the edge of town. The fun comes to a grinding halt when the kids discover they're trapped inside. Doors no longer lead to the outside. Windows won't break. Hallways go in circles, and something evil is in the house with them. What started out as a dare turns serious as they find themselves psychologically and physically tortured. And the more they try to escape, the worse it gets. At the heart of the haunting is a demonic witch that won't stop terrorizing until they are all dead. Will they be able to find the secret hidden in the house to stop the witch's wrath? Or will they all meet their fate before the night ends? This one sounds the best so far. The next one is called Everfall. Echo Bridge, 2020. Actually, it says it was released in 2017. The artwork was updated in 2020. I don't think that artwork is all that great, really. They could have done better. When you're trying to sell movies like this, you want it. Covers are very, very important. You want to be able to pull the possible purchaser. You want to pull them in and hook, line, and sinker, reel them in, and I'm taking this home. I guess it worked for me, but that was for $1. I don't think I would have paid any more than that for this movie. A year after an unfortunate accident, Ava has a disappointing tryout at a figure skating competition. Her coach invites her to compete. I'm not laughing at it, figure skaters. It just sounded like a weird premise to me. Everfall. The small town of Everfall to work on her skills. Ava brings along her boyfriend Daniel, an extreme sports YouTube star, and his cameraman Jordan to document Ava's last chance at resurrecting her skating career. You're probably wondering, how is this a horror movie? And so am I, so let's keep reading. Once in Everfall, though, a series of horrifying events unfold, forcing them to face things more terrible than they could ever imagine. So it's probably like a backwoods hillbilly, crazy town folk terrorize them. That's what it kind of sounds like to me. And I do enjoy those type of movies. This one looked really weird. I can't tell. I'm pretty sure that is a he, she. hermaphrodite, or what do you call those guys? Bruce Gender. I don't know. I don't judge a book by its cover, though. This might be a good movie. Doubt it, but you never know. Dead Don't Die in Dallas. We're All Going to Hell. I believe that without even watching this movie. This was put out in 2017. I don't know if that's a man. It sure looks like a man to me. It really does look like a man in drag. Let me know what you guys think. If you think this is a man in drag and you made it this far in the video, oh, I got to be careful what I say here because we don't want to offend anybody. Hashtag Bruce Gender if you think that's a man. Not Bruce Jenner. Bruce Gender. See what I did there? All right. A miracle pill that supposedly will cure all viral infectious diseases turns most of humanity into zombies. The few survivors in a small Texas town barricade themselves into an abandoned building. It soon becomes clear that the survivors can be split into two groups, Bible thumpers and queer folk. So there you have it. I think that very last line, I'm going to read that again to let that sink into you guys. I think we hit the nail on the head when we looked at that picture. Can be split into two groups, Bible thumpers and queer folk. And he doesn't look like much of a Bible thumper to me. Next one is called Fear Inc., Making a Killing One Client at a Time. I thought that cover looked pretty cool because she looks pretty hot, even for if she's getting shot or something. It looks like blood is splashing out of her body in the front and the back. Scream meets Cabin in the Woods, scary and funny. So it looks like we have another horror comedy here. This is a movie that was put out by Sony from what year? 2017. You do get a couple bonus features, behind the scenes, and a short film called Fear Inc. So that's cool. For $1, they kind of pack this stuff in a little bit. Joe is a slacker, leeching off his rich girlfriend and bored out of his skull. With Halloween approaching, he's hoping for a horrific time to jolt him out of boredom. After a night of partying, a drunken Joe calls Fear Inc. a personalized haunt service that promises to bring fear to life. Expecting a series of dull attempts at scaring him and his friends, the group begins to question the nature of the pranks as the thrill of a lifetime turns into a fight for survival. It says tailor-made for genre junkies. So that sounds pretty good. Some of these sound like they're decent. I got two more here for the horror pile. This one's called Dear Diary. I thought that cover looked really good. It almost kind of, to me, it reminds me of, it could be a ripoff of Dead Time Stories, George A. Romero. But that's just judging by the cover. I don't know if it is or not. This one was put out by ITN Distribution, 2019. And it says, when a psychiatrist researches a young girl's diary to find out why she murdered her entire family, he begins to fall into the same state of insomnia and confusion that led her to lose her mind. And the last one is called 3 Lives. The cover looked really good. I don't remember if I grabbed this one already. Now that I'm looking at it here laying on my bed, I think this might be a double again. I don't know. I really need to get my movies a little more organized. From High Octane 2018. There are some bonus features. You get the location videos. To me, those are really fun. I really enjoy those. And there's a lot of YouTubers that do excellent jobs doing location videos for some of the horror movies that I grew up and love. And I really like watching that stuff. You also get the director's bio, special effects featurette, and a couple other things there. It says, Know Your Enemy. Emma wakes trapped in an abandoned bunker. Her only means of escape from her savage captors lies with her other... Yeah, I do remember this now. The man who raped her 15 years earlier and his best friend. So I do have this twice now. Oh well, big deal. I'll pass it on to somebody else. So let's take a look at some of the stuff I got from the thrift shop. So these first two box sets that I'm going to show you, I got at a thrift shop called Salvation Army. And all of their DVDs are $1.99. It doesn't matter if it's a box set or just a single disc DVD. I picked up the Legend series, 35 episodes, television classics, called The Best of Johnny Carson and His Friends. This is put out by Mill Creek. It's a 4 DVD box set. And for $2, I thought this was definitely well worth it. So for disc 1, you get a bunch of the Johnny Carson Show episodes. And for disc 2, you get kind of a mix of some Carson and some of his other friends. The Jack Benny program, Bobby Darin and Friends, Frank Sinatra Timex special. That one sounds really good. It has Dean Martin and Bing Crosby. You get the Timex All-Star Comedy Show hosted by Johnny Carson. That sounds like it's pretty cool. Caesar's Hour. And then disc 3, you got Colgate Comedy Hour, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, Martha Ray Show, Shower of the Stars with Jack Benny and others. And then for disc 4, you get a bunch of Uncle Milty, the Milton Berle Show, Frank Sinatra, Jackie Cooper, Ronald Reagan, Zsa Zsa Gabor. Approximate running time, 23 hours. And if you're wondering, yes, they do come in these little paper sleeves. And I looked at them, and they were like brand new. I mean, for $1.99, I thought this was a steal. Somebody even left the sticker on top. They just cut it. That's what I usually do for the most part. I've been doing that for years. So that was the Best of Johnny Carson and Friends from the Salvation Army. And I also picked up the complete season 1 of Lost. I never saw the show. I know it was very, very popular. I think it ended up having 6 seasons. And I don't know if I'm going to get them all. I'm going to check this out at some point, maybe on a rainy day, rainy weekend or something. I'll pop these in and maybe marathon them. But I have heard good things about the show. It's pretty old by now. But for $1.99, this thing is like brand new, man. So it's a little dusty. But what are you going to do, you know, for $2? Clean that up very easily. Opened it up and looked at some of the discs. They were probably only watched once. Maybe some of them were never watched. So I thought for $1.99 that was a good deal. And then this pile here is from Goodwill. This movie got really bad reviews on IMDb. I never heard of this movie before. It's called Trunk. It's about a woman, Jennifer Day, who was abducted, and her captor is played by David Blanchard. And there's literally only 2 people in this entire movie. And this was from an old Hollywood video that made its way to Goodwill. And it has pretty bad reviews, but I thought I think it was $1.99 also at Goodwill that I would give it a shot. Just add it to the collection. Some people really praised the work of Jennifer Day in this movie. They thought that she carried this movie, but a lot of people said it was pretty dull. But I wanted to check it out. And then a TV show from the HBO days, probably a decade or longer, maybe even 20 years ago now. Time flies. I lose track of time these days. This is the complete 2nd season of Rome. I did see season 1 twice. I saw it when it was aired on HBO originally the first time. And I did buy the Rome box set, season 1, on DVD many, many years ago. I think I have sold it and bought it and sold it again, but I'll get it again and get it in my collection. Have never watched season 2, but this was a beautiful piece. I wanted to grab it when I saw it. It was how clean it was. It's like brand new. So I will keep this in my collection. I could easily get Rome season 1 very cheap. So it was a pretty good show. I think it only lasted 2 seasons. And like I said, I never did see season 2, so I don't know how it concludes. But this one, I was pretty surprised and happy to see at Goodwill. You can see there that it was $6.99, and I did pay that for this. It is a 6-disc set, all 39 season 2 episodes of Have Gun Will Travel, the complete 2nd season. So now I have to go and get season 1. This is still brand new, sealed, for $7. That's a steal. 6-disc set. I mean, Very, very cool. Glad to have this. Does have some special features, but not too many. For TV shows like this from the, I believe this was from the 50s and 60s maybe, you don't really need special features on these. It does have some memorable guest stars. Charles Bronson, Harry Morgan, who played in MASH, you guys, as well as other things. I mean, he was in a ton of things, Harry Morgan. Suzanne Plachette, Vincent Price, Maury Amsterdam, Lon Chaney Jr. Those are just a few to name. This is another kind of a rainy day watch. I'm tired, guys, sorry about that. But yeah, this is a good addition to the Western collection. Glad to have it. So this last pile here, these are kind of family type movies, and these are all VHS tapes. This is the original first printing of The Last Starfighter. I couldn't believe this was a quarter at Value Village, which is a thrift shop here in Racine, where I live. This thing is like beautiful. And you could tell it's the original first printing. It has the copyright 1984 there on the package. But here on the VHS sticker, where does it say that? 1986, all rights reserved. So this is kind of a collector's piece, I think. I mean, it's probably not worth much, but the condition it's in, I'm going to slap it in a protective case, and that's a really cool find for a quarter, I think. And that's a great movie. Definitely something I enjoyed during my childhood and even in my adult years. I watched this before many times. You know, watched it as a kid and watched it again as a grown-up. Still enjoy the movie. Then I picked up some of these. I have a lot of Disney VHS tapes and clamshell. I have a lot, and I have doubles of them. But I like to pick up this one doesn't have it, but I like to pick up the Black Diamond, the original first printings of these VHS, when I can find them. And they're not that rare, and they're not that pricey, but I like to pick the original first run, the first printings. This is the Return of Jafar. I don't think I had this on VHS, so I grabbed this. These were all a quarter. This is Fantasia. I think I do have this one, but this one was so clean and crisp, I wanted to grab it. I'll probably end up donating some of the doubles, some of the ones that are, you know, not as good condition as the ones that I picked up. This is the Great Mouse Detective. That's the Black Diamond I'm talking about, the classic. See that black diamond at the top? Those are the first printings of these. This one's called The Rescuers Down Under. This was another Black Diamond. When they re-released these, they didn't have that black diamond on them, so you can, I think they re-released them several times. This is one I'd never heard of before. It just looked like it might have been kind of rare, but it's called The Last Chance Detectives. It's just kind of a coming of age, kind of a group of kids working together to try to solve mysteries, but this is kind of a, this is definitely a kid's show. Mystery Lights of Navajo Mesa. Quarter, can't go wrong with that. My favorite Disney movie, I have this already many times on different formats, but this is the Black Diamond of the Fox and the Hound. And the last one is called The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And we had this exact copy when my kids were little, and they used to watch this over and over. And we had since gotten rid of our VHS, or a lot of them. Actually, we got rid of all of our VHS. I had to kind of start picking these up again over the last 10 years or so. But I mean, these are in really good condition, like brand new. This, I mean, you could see that it's still clean. So that was the last of the VHS. I did pick up a couple of new releases, or newer releases. I'm going to do separate videos for these two here. I just wanted to include them in this video. I got these last week, Ronin Flicks. This is the 4K HDR of the bird with the crystal plumage from Arrow Video. I'm going to do separate unboxings of this. I'm going to put both of these together in one video, and then I got the Cat O' Tails. Just wanted to show those there. I mean, these are really nice sets, but I'm a sucker for buying the same movie over and over and over. And then here's something I found on Amazon. I wanted to share this with you guys. When I was a kid, when I was like a preteen, like in my, I guess, 10, 11, 12, even 13, 14, there was a video store by my house. It was called Video Mania, and that was like the main VHS renting place. And they had everything there. They even had a back room for adult movies, which we didn't go. I mean, it was blocked off with a curtain, and but they had, I mean, row after row after row of VHS, and they had their horror aisle was unbelievable. I would give anything to go back and just stroll through the horror aisles. But every Halloween, you know, every fall, they would put a really nice kind of a display of their horror movies, and they had a lot of the kids movies too. Even, you know, it was like a front display, and they had all these horror movies and Halloween stuff. And there was a couple of volumes of Disney VHS that had some of these old cartoons, old black and white, the ghosts and the skeletons and all that. I'm sure a lot of you guys remember that. I saw this on Amazon and I had to pick it up. This is called Cartoon Roots, Halloween Haunts, and basically what this is, it's a fan-made, I guess not really a box set, but you could tell the guy who, let me see, what was his name? There's a guy who really put a lot of time and effort into this particular release here. And it shows cartoons from the very early days. Look at that, The Haunted Hotel from 1907. He put this together in 2017, and as far as I know, he just recently started selling these, or within the last year or so. And most of these are silent. They're not all cartoons. Some of them are silent pictures. They're very short, though. And he put a lot of his own organ music in there. At first, the organ music was kind of catchy and fun. While you're watching the silent movie, you hear this organ music playing. But it seems to be a lot of the same organ music over and over and over. I think they lost sound, so he kind of created his own. It's still a very, very good piece. And he sent me a, I guess, kind of a brochure. There's his name right there. Tommy Jose Stathis. I don't know if I butchered that. But he has other, I guess, other volumes of it. This is called the Cartoon Roots Halloween Haunts. I had a fun time watching this. It was really cool. There's even a Disney one on here. There's Max Fleischer, Disney. Some other good stuff on here. Some really, really good stuff. But there are other Cartoon Roots that you can order as well. So if you guys are interested in that, you can go to cartoonsonfilm.info, or you can just go to Amazon and look these up, and you will find them, and they're very fun. I recommend them. I paid, it was a little pricey for kind of a fan-made, I mean, it's an actual pressed disc. I'll show you that here in a minute. The ones that are burned are purple. So this is an actual disc. The quality turned out really, really good for 1907 movies and around that time. Sounds really good. And it also does come with the DVD. I watched it on Blu-ray, of course. You can see that it comes with a book, but you can see how he kind of stapled it. And it talks a little bit about each episode that you're watching. It's really, really well done. A little pricey for my liking for something that's a fan-made piece, but I think it's definitely worthy of a purchase, and I'm going to have to put that in after I don't want to wreck the booklet, and it's kind of giving me a hard time there. But that is it, guys, for my Dollar Tree haul and my, I guess, Goodwill. Where else did I go? Goodwill, Value Village, and Salvation Army thrift shops. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I'm only a few away from 4,500. That would be awesome. And as always, thank you for watching. And for the girls, Miss Hannah and Miss Heidi, I'm your boy Toddy Walnuts. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, and see you next time.